Hello and welcome to Professor Herman Manyora's channel. My name is Jadiel Kabiro, here with Professor Herman Manyora. Professor, it's a new week. How are you doing?
Wonderful, as you can see.
Expectations?
Well, we are just looking at what's going on and making sense out of this difficult world.
Making sense out
They
of
say earth is hard, eh?
Let's take a look at something that happened over the last week. UDA candidate Njuguna won the votes for Kiambaa constituency. And Professor, this has raised a lot of questions. Should DP Ruto now brag that he will carry Mount Kenya come 2022?
He can be happy that he has won and he has bragging rights if he wishes, and you have seen him chest thumping and singing, and they are happy. But note that you have carried Mount Kenya. The opposite is true.
The opposite?
Yeah, he should be crying. He should be weeping.
Why would the
Maybe
DP...
not in the toilet, but at least just crying.
Why weep and he has won Kiambaa?
Because you see, Uhuru and Ruto won against Raila with more than 90% turnout from Mount Kenya and the Kalenjin nation. So he needs that constituency intact. In fact, Ruto's main constituency is Mount Kenya.
Main constituency?
Yes, that is his base. So if somebody can come to the base and get 50%, you must be crying.
Guru Kirinyaga governor, she said that Ruto needs 101% of Mount Kenya. Could this be any true?
It is more than true. First the turnout. The turnout of 40-something% should be worrying to Ruto, and the 20-something in Juja. So it means, much as there is a hustler narrative is resonating well with the people, but it's not exciting enough. Okay, so I understand by-elections do not attract a lot of turnout, but because of the hustler narrative, the way it was being floated, you would have expected 60-70%. So in the next election, 2022, there must be a good turnout from Mount Kenya, which I highly doubt. It will not hit 75 or 80. It could be 75 at most. Secondly, he must get, like Anwar Guru says, over 90% or 80. Let me be fair, 80.
Of all the votes cast?
Yes. So stand a chance. So if Uhuru can go away with 40%, he's cooked.
So what should the DP do at this point? What should he do to get that 90% of votes and full turnout?
It's not possible. I don't see it happening.
Not
I have said repeatedly, Ruto is a very good man. But 2022, I don't think he stands a chance. Absolutely none.
Okay.
I may not say like Atwoli said that he will not be on the ballot. That is Atwoli. But that he will not make it, to me, is more than certain. Because you see, what Anwar Guru is saying captures it all. In the absence of such a sterling performance on the mount, he has no chance.
Okay, still Anwar Guru said this is also a warning for Jubilee, that there's something that they should do if they are to take the votes of Mount Kenya to the bargaining table. Has the Jubilee party been warned by the votes that were casted in Kiambaa?
Yes, in two ways. One, during the funeral of Musalia Mudavadi's mother, Atwoli and I think Senator Malala, they told Uhuru, toka nje. Atwoli told him, toka nje. These people, you'll find them in your bedroom. And indeed, they went to Kiambaa, which is President Uhuru's bedroom. So, that is one. Secondly, unless the community is divided, is united, as Anwar Guru is saying, unless the community is united, they will make no impact on... Look here, for example. Supposing as we head towards 2022, at the time of picking a deputy president, Ruto realizes he is unlikely to get more than 30%. He may not even give them the number 2 slot. He can give somebody else who can bring the votes. So, and even within the handshake, Raila might be forced to look elsewhere if he sees these guys are just divided. They are giving Ruto 30%, they will give him 15% or 20%. Maybe Akikuyu will stand and get another 50% of the votes. So there will be a useless vote region. Yeah,
I'm curious, you said that Ruto might actually look for someone else from another side if it's possible.
Yeah.
Where do you think he should go?
If he were to look for somebody else?
Yes. Which community would bring the number of votes?
There are two communities that will give Ruto near 100%. The number one on the list is the Kamba community. If we took a Kamba running mate, assuming Kalonzo accepted, it'll be strange. But maybe Alfred Mutua, for example, he would get over 80% of the votes. If he took Mudavadi, he will get 100%, 90% of 80% of Western. But Mudavadi as a deputy president will not make sense to Luyas. So again, it will turn to 15, 20, 30%. So another Luya, or Paranya, for example, could give him about 60% of 50, 60% of the votes. So he's looking at Western and looking at Ukambani. And even at the cost. If you got a strong person like Joe to deputize you, you will sweep. Joe will give you 3 million votes. 2.5 to 3 million votes.
But
because he will come with a coastal vote, sizable vote, assuming he manages to convince Raila people to decamp, and he will come with a Muslim vote, we have said before. So Ruto doesn't have to be on the mountain. He can change.
It's now time to look at other options.
Yes, especially if the mountain does what people fear they could do. Either be scattered in those small little pockets of votes, or produce a serious politician. People are talking of Jimmy Wanjigi. And I said last time here, now James Mwangi. Mwangi has said politics and him can't go together. But many people have said that. Anyway, Guru said that.
They are pushing him to vie.
People could push James Mwangi, and he can be a dangerous card.
Would he though?
Oh, yeah. He has a name.
What would you say brings someone out of that industry of business and makes them president?
Sometimes, like Shakespeare said, some people are born great. Others are made great. Others achieve greatness. So you can fall anywhere between there. You can be made great. People have been fished from slumber, from the comfort zone where they are operating, from steady jobs, and told, no, we want you to be our MP. And they become, and they do well. Some do badly. Some people have been picked. And especially in places like Australia, UK, where really parties scout for talent.
Parties themselves.
Not everybody who goes to parliament intended to do. Sometimes the party looks at you and says, please, we have been following you. Come and be our MP for this area. So even at that high level, it can happen.
Something the DP said after the Kiambaa elections, he said the elections were peaceful. And he said, now I don't think we need the constitutional change for Kenya to see a peaceful transfer of power. Would you say Kiambaa elections can represent the 2022 general elections?
No, the presidency was not at stake. When the presidency is at stake, it's a different ballgame. My friend, the stakes are higher. It's a matter of life and death. You know, this Kiambaa is just a joke because much as you see, Kiambaa has a lot of lessons for people. For example, I said in my last video, the president should take Kiambaa seriously. Not because he lost, because it gives the perception he's not in control of things. But for Ruto, there's a much more serious thing. Kiambaa gave him a trap and he fell for it. The best bet, and this is where this country has a problem with the leaders, they don't have advisors. Kiambaa has made Ruto go head on with the president. And his people have said things, even in the course of this celebration. And that was a trap. The best thing for Ruto to have done, if he talked to people like us, would have to let the Moses Kuria party face Jubilee. Pep. But UDA, that message, that was suicide according to me. So you cannot use the barometer of Kiambaa to say the country will be peaceful or not peaceful, even if there was chaos in Kiambaa. Who tells you there will be chaos in 2022? Okay. This is a small thing.
You know, you made me think about your previous video where you said that the president should call the people that were in charge of those elections in Kiambaa and scold them. Do you think it was a failure on the president's part or his advisors when it comes to Kiambaa?
You see, if I'm the president, you cannot come and win Kiambaa if you are Ruto. Pep can win, but not UDA. No. If I'm the president, you will not win.
So this shows,
and you see, the president is, I know how the games the president is playing. But he should be careful. If the president had gone to Kiambaa one day, 2 days before the election, they would have won this thing with a landslide. But perhaps he wanted this trap set for Ruto to succeed. That's number one. Number two, it is possible the perception there scared him. that how about I go to Kiambaa and the Ruto whitewashes us?
Oh.
What will it do to my name?
Tarnish completely.
And this is where the intelligence comes in. So either the intelligence in this country is weak, or they are afraid of telling the president things as they go. Or they are intelligent, they tell him, but they choose to play in a certain way. The president may have a game plan. I suspect he could be having a game plan. But in politics, things are not always played in the boardroom.
Oh.
You have to be careful of what's going on outside, what the people are saying. That's why in that video I was just telling him, crack the whip on some of your ministers. Your government is showing insensitivity that is dangerous. Impunity is what brings governments down. I would even tell the president, for example, using this Kiambaa example, when this breakfast, this national prayer breakfast thing started, around the first or second one, a former UK minister came to Kenya. And he addressed them. He was a born-again man now. You know why he became born again?
Why?
He had been jailed.
Oh.
A former cabinet secretary, minister in UK, jail. You know, sometimes they get saved in jail.
Yeah.
So he was now coming there as a Christian. And he explained in graphic details how impunity starts. You do something, you hear some gambling, you ignore. Then you become blatant. You get to a point where you think you are a god. You get it?
Yeah.
So if you have a government, people are crying about the living standards, the problems of the economy. And your ministers are telling you, let us have taxes. Let's add VAT here.
Some little fires everywhere.
Yeah, you are letting, and people, you are not sensitive. That's what I'm telling the president.
Oh.
You are not sensitive. And the ministers, for example, I was giving this example. People think it's because I was shortchanged of books, for example. Books are central to education.
Yeah.
If people have been saying in the media, and others can't say because they are quiet, that this is a dangerous thing. Let's be careful the books we give our children. Let's make sure the process is, and the minister is just there. He doesn't seem to care. That is impunity. And impunity has always destroyed people and the countries and nations and kingdoms.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think the president ought to be in charge.
Finally, there has been a cold war between the DP and the president.
Yes.
Are we going to see it openly now that the Kiambaa elections have happened? Are we now going to see a huge difference now in disagreement when it comes to policies between the DP and the president?
But when the DP, you have asked me about the DP something, I ran off, I forgot what you had asked. You see, the DP now is coming out openly.
Yeah.
He's talking about you don't need to change the constitution.
Constitutional change, yeah.
That is challenging the president. Because
Yeah.
the president has come out clearly with Raila. We cannot continue fighting each other and doing bad things after when we are engaged in elections every time. Let's try another way. And this BBI is an attempt to do something. And look how he's rubbishing it. You can't rubbish what the president has said when you are still his deputy. So this is a trap for him, and I've said it many times. So you are right, we will see more of this. And as they continue doing that way, they continue digging the hole. And they are being encouraged. And I'm saying that is the most likely reason why the president didn't take a direct interest in Kiambaa.
Okay.
A trap for Ruto. You can win. But you know when people win, they get excited, overexcited. And they say things, and they have begun saying them. So another thing will come up to accord them an opportunity to go deeper into the hole.
Oh.
And this is the game plan somebody seems to be playing for them. They should be aware.
The president pushing Ruto.
Yes. He's going to be more bold. You become more bold. And you know something I must tell Ruto. If you watch football, I'm not a fan of football, but if you watch football, in the initial stages of World Cup, those stages of group matches, you see shining teams, shining, Ghana, where? They never go to the quarter. You know why?
Yeah.
You do so well. But the experienced team, they just need half a chance to convert. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Half a chance?
I have a chance.
The experience comes in. So it's like Uhuru and Jubilee and Raila are just watching Ruto.
Yeah.
They are the experienced team. He's really dribbling the ball. He's doing so well. All sorts of maneuver, like Ronaldinho.
Yeah.
But these guys, they just need half a chance and the net inafanya kakakakaka.
All I can say is I hope the UDA team,
Yes.
this won't be true for them.
Well, we should pray it shouldn't be true, but our prayers may not reach God.
Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Professor Herman Manyora's channel, Conversations on Politics. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Join, there's a join button, subscribe, and click the notification bell just in case one video pops up. You'll be able to see it fast. Thank you so much, Prof, for this.
Thank you too.